Yeah, so what I wanted to do was add VAPI into this, so that way we can chat and converse uh, through a microphone interface, and it'll just be really natural. We'll use VAPI with 11 labs. Um, I've done it before with a similar uh, kind of code base, so I'm kind of just reusing some of that same methodology. So we'll go to ask, and I made a branch earlier, um, so we're safe there. And then just clear that, and then we'll start the terminal again. Cool. And then let's restart. Let's see if this works. Come on. Okay, cool. Apply to editor. Okay, cool. And yeah, so okay, so we're good to go there. Cool. So yeah, let's add VAPI in here and see how long it takes us to get um, a way to just naturally talk like we have a tutor. So here we go. Let's add some content, chat. What else we have? I'm gonna give it the route. It's probably all we need. Okay, I want to integrate VAPI API to be able to have a conversation with the chat output, like I'm talking to a Python expert tutor. Give me the steps to do this. I've been experimenting with asking it to like give me just like chunks of steps, not it doesn't need to like just start printing 20 steps. If I don't know, I'd rather just get through the first three or four and then continue. This should be pretty cool though. I'm pretty curious about this one. um, yeah, I'm doing my best not to swear, especially in the first 15 minutes. I should set a timer at 8:50. Apparently YouTube stops caring about swearing so much. All right, let's see what it's wanting us to do now. So VAPI is pretty cool. It's got an API that we can get the transcript from, so we don't need to like use anything like Whisper or anything. Okay, so I have that. Oh yeah, forgot that it have you set your webhook URL. What is my? I mean, I don't have a webhook URL. It's all local. We can use a simpler client-side approach that doesn't require webhooks. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. They have an SDK that, because it's actually a phone call. So it's going to make a phone call and then we'll just talk to it. This, don't know what I would, the next public VAPI API, your VAPI public, okay, I do remember that. Okay, using ngrok for webhook testing. I don't care about that. Get a VAPI IP. Get a VAPI API key. That's hard to say. Okay, cool. We'll get it. Put it in there in the .env and see what we get. Okay, so let's install first. See if this is even right. Yep, nope. So when I get an error like this and I'm just kind of just cycling it through the chat, I just throw a question mark in there. Really because it's the cheapest thing you can input to get the your question answered. So it's not going to search with when you have it set to Claude 4, it can search the web for you. So it's going to go look for the actual documentation, which is pretty much one of the most undeniable features of Cursor, to like not have to like venture out of the terminal. I mean the editor to go look at documentation, and it just goes and checks it, comes back, prints it out, you apply it. Super fast. Let's see if this is right. Okay, cool. So that got added. We're going to need to create this source and hooks. Okay. Thought I had, yeah, in the file. Use VAPI TS. Cool. Cool. What is it bitching about? Oh, I didn't make it. Maybe it didn't hear it. Okay, we'll have to deal with that later. I don't even want to use OpenAI anyways. I don't even want to use you anyways. Okay, cool. Let's see what we get here. Tutor chat, does that already exist? Okay, cool. So we'll apply that. Brought in the use VAPI hook. Okay. Let me see what it brought in down here. Okay. So then does the voice chat section. Okay. Fun. Start voice chat or end voice chat. Sure. Cool. And then I need to bring in the API key. Okay. Some of this I'll do off camera. Oh man, what was it? I think it was a Google sign-in. Okay, cool. I think we're gonna get it. Assistance. Okay. Cool. Looks like I have one set up here. Interesting. There's like a default one. Interesting. Okay. So I need to get my API key, and then I can kind of show you more. What's the assistant ID? Yeah, I need the assistant ID, and yeah. Okay, so I need an assistant ID as well as the VAPI API key that corresponds to the right assistant. Because you create these assistants that you're gonna basically call a phone number that is set up through VAPI, and then you can just talk to it like normal. So let's see what we got. Okay, navigate to your dashboard, create an assistant, go to assistants, create assistant. Okay, let's just create a new one, why not? Public key, okay, copy. Okay, so I got that. Okay, 1 second. There's my .env. Copy the next public API key. So I'm just setting up the .env file right here. If it would let me. Sorry, I know this is, you're not seeing, I'll probably edit this part out, why not? Okay, do an equal sign. Okay, there it goes. Okay, cool. We got the next public VAPI API key going, and then we're gonna need the assistant as well. Assistant ID, okay. Oops. Okay, let me get that, and then we will get this party started. Assistants, create an assistant, blank template, cool. Okay, so we have a new assistant. We're gonna have it use Anthropic because that's better than everything. Yes, it's going to be hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor. Sorry, I'm just getting all this VAPI stuff set up. Okay, that's set up. Cool. Bring in the assistant to the env file. Proven. Okay. And that's all we need, and we'll get back to the game. Okay. So, cool. So we got the .env stuff set up. That's probably the most, that part, yeah, it takes a little bit of a feel. Okay, so yeah, recommended. Yeah, that's what I did. I set up the keys in the .env now. Let's do option A. Can take us. It's taking its time. Okay, there we go. Wake up. Okay. I guess, hold on. I think I missed some code up here. Let's try this. Actually, wait, let me just, we did a bunch of stuff without actually looking at anything. Let's see what we got. Oh, fuck yeah. I couldn't do it. I had 3 minutes left. Okay. Let's see if, let's see if Elliot picks up. Okay. Nope. Sure did not. Okay, we're gonna get it, don't worry. Let's just see what's going on in this thing. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Like 45 and the use VAPI use effect. We're getting a 500, I think. What does it say? 2 errors. Yeah, this is what I want. Type starter method. Start method error. Okay. Oh, 400, it's a bad request on line 64. I wonder if it's because I didn't fix that error. Okay. And then let's bring this over to 11 labs. Okay. Cool, let's see what we get. Okay. Just use the assistant ID. Okay, cool. Assistant ID found. Okay. I can dig that. We have that. And before we clutter it with some console logs, we'll just start again. Right. Let's see if, yeah. Damn. Well, at least we now know what the problem is. Do I need to, I thought I saved it. I mean, publish. Or do I, am I not allowed to, am I like doing too many or something? Yeah. No, we're not gonna hard code that. Hold on, let's, wonder if I have like too many or something. Dang, what a pain in the ass. Copy VAPI assistant. Yeah, I mean, okay, let's talk to the assistant. Does that work?
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot. We're just testing some stuff right now. I'm building an application to help me learn Python.
That's awesome. Building your own learning app is such a great way to practice Python. It's like learning by doing, which is honestly the best approach. What kind?
Okay, so it works in the VAPI UI. We just need to get it over um, to the code. Okay, okay. Let me just check the .env again. Yeah, public API key, right? Your VAPI public key. Oh, wait. I think I didn't name it right. Okay, that could make sense. Um, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I didn't name. There's a naming error. No, that's not right either. Okay, so it's going to be next public VAPI assistant ID, which is this. So I did not have that. Okay, okay, that might work better. Okay, let me. Okay, yeah, I didn't have that. What I had was just VAPI assistant. So let's if see if that fixes it. So let's restart this again. Here we go. Check it out. Start over. That's a good sign.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, what up, Elliot? I got you going in my Python application here. You're gonna help me learn Python. You're my tutor.
Hey there. That's awesome. I'm excited to help you learn Python. It's such a great language to work with. So tell me, where are you at with Python right now? Are you just getting started, or have you been coding for a while? And is there anything specific you're working on or struggling with that you'd like to dive into today? I'm
Uh,
here to help with whatever you need, whether that's understanding basic concepts, debug.
Dude, hell yeah, we got Elliot in there now. Okay, and then we got a shit ton of console logs coming in. Okay, hell yeah, cool. Now we can fine tune it. That's awesome. Um, that's really cool. Now we can just hang out and have this tutor to talk to about Python. Um, groovin'. Sorry I didn't show any of the yeah, any of the VAPI dashboard stuff. Uh, it just shows it like exposes too many like keys like right in the dashboard, so I don't know what to do. And I hate video editing, so I'm not gonna like edit it out. So yeah, pretty rad. I can't hate on that. So the only logical thing to do next is to save it. Oops. The success. Yeah. Oops. Oh, mess this up. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. oops, and oh God, okay, wrong thing. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, that was goofy. Okay, doesn't have my command there. Okay, it's fine. We're still on feature. All our stuff is still there. So I accidentally pressed Command Q. I meant to do like backslash Q, I think, or like Control Q. That's what I meant. Okay. So get get commit. Cool. Okay, wonderful. Um, right on. Well, yeah. So now we can actually have a conversation. The reason I didn't talk back is because it's it's not free. You got to pay for these credits, and I want to make it to where he's not so verbose. He's like rambling pretty hard. So uh, we'll fine tune that, and then I want to take the transcription um, of everything, and I have some cool uh, AI processing layers I want to put into this. So first thing, we want to be able to chat back and forth with Elliot. I'm going to call him Elliot from here on out because it's annoying to have to say VAPI or VAPI. So we'll chat with Elliot, and he'll be aware of what we're doing over in the editor as well. And then over the timeline of, doing daily questions, I'm going to get an AI summary of one of the sessions and put it in a database to then index and have AI process to be able to um, basically do like scaled recommendations of questions based on um, the summaries of the transcript. So if it notices that like I'm having problems with like some sort of method or trying to remember, some sort of like variable syntax or something, um, it'll know that that was a problem point for me. And instead of just generating a random, you know, easy, medium, hard question, it'll know contextually from the history of the tutoring session um, what the best problem to give me as a scaled challenge. Um, yeah, because the idea is to streamline the learning process, and I think that's a good way to scale it. So yeah, I'm going to take a break and come back to this here in a little bit. All right, here we go. Let's sorry, I want to put my phone on airplane mode. Okay, here we go. npm run dev. Start it back up, and want to get a better idea of what I was looking for. Okay. So what I'm confused about is I have a prompt in the route, and then I have a prompt in the actual um, dashboard of VAPI, and I want to figure out which one I need to modify to um, fine tune it better. So yeah, let's ask it. I have two places where Anthropic prompt is located. I have a route.ts for an API call, and I have it set up in VAPI dashboard. I think it's actually only using the VAPI dashboard because the intro is what I wrote in the VAPI dashboard. When I call it is the intro is written in the dashboard. I want to fine tune the assistant response. See what it says. The first thing I want to do is I want to make him way less verbose. He's he's just saying way too many words. We need to keep him pretty brief and to the point, especially for like just introductory type conversations. Yeah, that's what I thought. To use the same as my local API. Okay. I've done like string interpolation in the dashboard for the prompt. So there is a way to like programmatically have the prompt um, map to the assistant. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to end up figuring that one out because some of the requirements I'm gonna want out of this are gonna probably need a little bit more in-depth connections. Okay, so create a server function for VAPI. This is what I was actually talking about. Oh, it's giving me like 4 different versions. Okay. Well, I want the assistant to be brief, straight, and to the point. It's responding to text. I mean, I guess, yeah, well, it's not using that. So I should have just brought in the prompt and then just, oh, is that all I need to do is reduce the token? Okay, I thought it was more explicit than that. Okay, no, not for that. Okay. So is it using the API for this? Or is this all done in the dashboard? Yeah, that's what we want. Yes, we need VAPI to have context with the Anthropic API chat tutor. The text chat. Yes, we need VAPI. And fuck it, send it. Yeah, so right now we have basically what's going on is we can make a phone call and talk to it, right? But in terms of the VAPI assistant, um, Elliot knowing about the problem and the conversation going back and forth, that's where we actually have to do like an actual route.tss file. Yeah, this will be a lot more. We'll get a lot more leverage out of this. I don't understand this whole URL thing though. Set up a phone. Why do I need? It wanted me to do this. I mean, I guess I can set up some bullshit Vercel deployment instance and give it that. Yeah, so. Oh, wait, they have a server URL. What is that? Okay. This is kind of cool. So Cursor's been doing this thing where it's taking a reference and like it's tagging what you're doing and then asking you like to review this what they're calling a memory. And so it's kind of picking up on my styling and what I like. When I first saw this, this was actually helping me out because it would like yeah, it would just have like real great background context for what it wants me to do. This it keeps asking me to remember things that are really domain specific to the Kojitsu project and not my workflow. So it hasn't been necessary, but I like that. That's cool because if that gets really if that gets really solid, then the context that you're having in your chat is a little less work um, and more fluid and has probably a greater amount of knowledge too. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna deploy this to Vercel. I'm curious about this. Yeah, I guess this is a good solution, and it would kind of simplify things, and I wouldn't need to, well, I would be reliant on VAPI for the questions, because right now the questions from Anthropic are separate from VAPI. Huh. I guess the whole point of it is to use VAPI to talk to this thing. Um, hmm, what to do? Oh, well, it's saying I need a public URL regardless. Okay, well, you live and you learn. I'm gonna set up that Vercel link and we'll get back to it. All right, so I'm still trying to figure out this VAPI thing. I did it another way. So something I tried to do, which I thought was kind of cool, was where is it? I basically went into the project that I've done this kind of work on and integration with VAPI and Anthropic for like dynamic chatting and context injection. And I just asked it to read the code base and tell me how the VAPI integration is set up. I'm trying to make another project using VAPI and I can't remember what I did. Some of it was in the dashboard, some of it is with API calls, but I need to know how to make VAPI context aware. So Cursor then went through and broke it down and gave me a good summary. And um, yeah, and basically told me what was going on here. So I then copied it and brought it into Kojitsu project um, to ask how to do this, basically. Um, so I just wrote, this is what I need to know, and then dumped it in there. And it sounds like it appreciated it. Excellent. This is a much better approach than what I was suggesting. Uh, okay. Let me help you adapt the pattern for your coding tutor use case. No server URL needed. Dynamic assistant configuration. Use variables. Use variable. This is hard to read. Use variable values. Real-time context ingestion. Variable-based prompts. Okay. Yeah, this is how I did it in the other project. Okay. We have a use VAPI hook. Okay. Set up the tutor chat component to be refactored for this new type of system. Just configure that your assistant with the template I showed above the sailed through. Okay. Okay. So we'll probably have to re redo the VAPI dashboard. Okay, so let's see what we got going here. Okay. Dynamic assistant overrides. Okay, cool. Inject context. Okay. So that's the message. I'm assuming. Yeah, like in my other project, this would be like a message or an image that we're gonna inject, um, so it can have context throughout the chat. Uh, okay, and then update tutor chat. It's got some issues here. What doesn't it like? Some unused variables. Okay. Fix with AI. Bring in the tutor chat. We can leave route in there. Why not? Just take them out. Sometimes I'm like, well, are they not used and they need to be used? Because, I mean, I can easily just go delete them. I see okay, so there's destructuring, like syntax error. Okay. Oh, added disabled assigned to this VAPI loading object. Okay. So, okay. Sure. Okay, that was cool. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Start all this. Okay. See what we get. This isn't exactly what I want. Oh, well, hold on. Let's try this. Let's do FizzBuzz. Okay, and let's see if he knows about FizzBuzz.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot, are you aware of the question that was in the chat that we're supposed to go over?
Hi there. I don't actually have access to any previous chat messages or questions from before our voice call started. Could you tell me what specific Python topic or problem you'd like to work on together? Whether it's debugging some code, understanding a concept, or working through an out.
Okay. Okay, so we have this console log of basically the conversation update. I mean, technically we could just be like, hey, we're doing FizzBuzz, and it could start, but what I kind of want is him to already know. Let me think about this. The problem I'm trying to figure out is the source of the questions comes from the Anthropic API, and the tutoring conversation comes from VAPI. And I'm wondering if there's a way to like make it all just come from VAPI, and then somehow like programmatically uh, start the conversations with an actual like initialization of the question before he gets on the phone. Okay, like we need a question, and then we need to talk to him and go through it. Yeah, the way we get this started, like the prep work or the pre-processing for this type of this thing, this system here. I don't know. I guess we'll just test a bunch of different shit. Um, okay. What do I want? What I want? Yeah, I want to offload all this shit to VAPI. Okay, that's close, but I need to have context of the chat prior to beginning the phone call. I don't know. Maybe I do want to keep the creation of the questions to be anthropic and then just have it kind of bounce back off each other. I'm going to add a database to this, so there will be a way to kind of index a lot of these variables. But right now, I just want to get like a cohesive flow with VAPI going. Oh, I forgot to update the dashboard. That could be it too. Well, let's see what we have. Okay, let's see what this gives us. Create a chat history summary. Okay, that's good. That's going to be useful in the future. I have a couple ideas I want to do with the chat history. Okay, after call starts, inject chat history. Okay, cool. Brings it in. Okay. Chat message. Okay, 1 second. I want to. This is the current prompt in the VAPI dashboard. You should see how well I type when the camera's not on. Okay, here we go. Okay, cool. So we'll do some sort of string interpolation that gets populated when the use VAPI hook gets called. Okay, cool. These things seem so far apart. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You see, okay, user wants AI to act as an expert pilot. No, I don't. Um, okay, maybe this is something that is a good example of why I like it. The user prefers not to use the Anthropic SDK in API routes. Wants to use direct HTTP calls. That's not true either. Okay, well, it hasn't gotten a good one yet. Okay, so with VAPI Web, we have a library here that can then, I guess, through the assistant dashboard and the API key, dynamically change the prompt and then do context injection. That's a wild thing to be able to do. Not gonna lie, a lot of moving parts. That's the kind of shit I get a kick out of, and why I think I'm super addicted to this thing. Um, Fascinating. Okay, here we go. Let's copy, bring this in. Sorry, I'm doing all the VAPI stuff off screen, but it exposes like a key, and I don't feel like doing any editing because I don't like to edit videos. It's fucking miserable. I'd rather just look at console log errors all day. Okay, so update assistant has been published and updated. Okay, cool. Let's test this again. Actually, I don't want it to be a hint call. Let's come up with a better UX flow for how to start the um, problem using the chat panel for the creation and tutor view and interaction. Okay, cool. See, this is when it's fucking rad. It's like Claude and Cursor, you're way smarter than me. tell me what the user experience needs to be. You have a whole corpus of every GitHub repo in your fucking neural network. Okay. Conversational start. Let's get started flow instead of a button spam. Guide discovery. Okay, cool. Maybe it's like it'll be more verbally oriented. Progressive disclosure, information field. Okay, this is more aligned with what I want. I think now that we have like the foundation, we can start getting into some real cool AI type integrations because it's gonna come up with way cooler shit than me. Okay, so tutor chat, we have one of those already. Fuck it. Where's my problems? Okay, assignment never used. Okay, and then this is the same file. Okay. Use them or lose them. Do these need to be used or removed? I didn't write the code. You tell me. Shit. Okay. Yeah, so it's like you can either remove them or we can do it. Why didn't you just integrate it the first time? Because now we're just reprinting the whole file, which is more token cost, which I'm sure Anthropic and Cursor love. Okay, here we go. I mean, I could probably be more rigid with the constraints of what it prints, but whatever. Um, tutor chat, here we go. And then we just got some apostrophes. Why this is like keeps getting triggered is beyond me. Like of all the things it can do, like Jesus, put some Apos in there. Okay, this might be worth trying now. Okay, I'm excited about this. This will be cool. This actually works. Let's see. So supposedly this workflow is going to be very verbally oriented. Okay. AI tutor. Fuck yeah, here we go. What's the difference between start problem and discovery? Guess we're gonna find out. Oh, okay. Okay, so hold on. Clear doesn't work either. I want to do an easy one like BizBuzz for a warm up. Uh-oh. Countered with the same key. Oh, it still worked. Okay, let's see if we can talk to the guy.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot. Do you see what I'm working on in the chat?
Hi there. I can see you have a code editor open with just a comment that says, write your Python code here. but I don't see any specific problem or assignment you're working on yet. What coding challenge or concept are you trying to tackle today? Are you working on something specific from a class, tutorial, or just exploring Python on your own? Once you let me know, what you're aiming to.
Damn, that's sick. So it knew about that, but not the chat panel. And then it had some sort of key issue. Okay. That's cool. We're closer. I tell you what, we're gonna do a little. I want to save that because I have a feeling I might break some shit here in a little bit. Git commit be partial completion. Okay. Let's keep thinking about this. I want this to be all verbally based. I want this to be all verbal for the UX. Right now, the assistant is aware of what's in the editor, but needs to help initiate the creation of the problem and give the assistant the context to help the user. Let's see what that gets us. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're going to remove a bunch of the buttons. Okay, and then we'll update the prompt. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to. Okay, let's see what it says. User clicks start voice session. Asks what they want to practice through natural conversation. Creates the problem verbally. User can inject editor context anytime. Share current code. Okay. Yeah, this is probably close. I want to. This will take a couple iterations. We'll just go after it. Okay. Apply to tutor chat. 9:13. Jesus. $14. We're gonna have a good old time. Okay. Maybe. No. Okay. So many fucking errors. Oh, well, these are. Let's dump it in there. I still don't think this is exactly what I want. Really, we need to be able to start the conversation, use the transcript and the creation of the problem to then be able to uh, have a way of transferring that into the editor. So basically some sort of like problem, transfer problem to editor function slash button. Good God, come on. Oh, since we removed a bunch of stuff, there's a bunch of unused variables. Clean it up. All right. Shit, if it wants to do a memory thing, remember to do the appos. Cool. All right. Expected three arguments, got four. Oh, yeah, it's not right. It's not right. 53 arguments, but got four. Yeah, I don't know where. Oh, okay, yeah. That's where it should have been. That makes sense. Like, what arguments? Okay. Okay, let's see what this gets us now. Let's code together. Let's hard refresh. Okay. Let's try it.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, Elliot, can you give me a really, really beginner-friendly Python problem for me to solve? Like, I don't know, like iterating through a string or something?
Hey there. Perfect. Let's start with something simple and fun. Here's a nice beginner problem. Count the vowels in a string. Write a function that takes a string and counts how many vowels A, E, I, O, U are in it. For example, if I give you hello, it should return 2 because there's one E and one O. This is great for practicing, looping through each character in a string, using if statements to check conditions, keeping track of a counter. Want to give it a try? You can start by thinking about how you'd check if a. Absolutely. Let's find you the perfect beginner problem. So you mentioned iterating through strings. That's a great place to start.
Okay,
Here are
so
a few options, and
yeah, so I need a way for it to save the transcript of it reading out the. Yeah, there's a couple ways it could do this. Hmm. I wonder if I could just have it go search and then come back. I wonder if that's the easiest way to kind of like go fetch a problem and come back. That's kind of interesting. Okay, well, let's just ask it. That's still pretty tight. Let's save it. Really close. Partial. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe there's a trigger we could kind of give it verbally to know to just auto-populate. Actually, yeah, let's see. Let's just have it auto-populate the editor after creating the problem and asking if the user wants to uh, do that problem. It will then apply to editor, populate screen with the decided question. All right, I know that's redundant, but whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is kind of how we do it, right? We build a make it work, then make it right. So I'm not worried about a lot of the styling. I could give a shit less. I could give a shit less about the landing page. That's for sure. That's why we didn't spend nearly that much time on it. Just a core sort of personality to get. Um, really, just so when we're working on this thing, it's not a pain in the ass. Um, so yeah, one of the final stages will be to go back and kind of change all the language or the layouts and the UI and the styling to um, be more cohesive to the functionality that we actually created, which is the core foundation of the whole application. That rhymes. Um, so yeah, this is it's still an iterative process. Okay. Voice to code experience. User can accept or request a different problem. That's what I wanted. Oh, that's interesting. This will all be triggered through voice. Let's give it a shot. Still want to be able to do this manually, but okay. This will be interesting. Talk about something I'm curious about. Okay, so we have a couple TypeScript errors. Tutor chat. Cool. That didn't break. Update the VAPI dashboard. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we get. Fix with AI. I guess I could have just done like added the any. I don't know, man. I don't know. it's probably better just to know how to do it and not rely on AI, but it's like junk food. Feels good. Oh, interesting. So it came up with the, I'm guessing a more manual solution. Well, let's see what this does. Oh, it did this shit again. Fuck it, let's just test it. I don't think it's gonna really break anything. Give it a shot. Let's give it a shot.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, what up, Elliot? Give me a really easy Python problem to work on. I only got a couple minutes.
Hey there. Perfect. Let's jump right in with something quick and fun. Let's work on an easy strings problem. Reverse a string. Here's what we need to do. Write a function that takes a string and returns it reversed. For example, if we pass in hello, we should get back ole. This is great for a quick session. There are actually several different ways to solve it in Python, from simple slicing to using built-in methods. Does this sound good to start with?
Yes.
Awesome. Go ahead and start coding in your editor. I'll give you a hint to get started. Think about how you might access characters in a string from the end to the beginning. You can define a function like def reverse strings. Oh, I already suggested one. Let's work on that easy string problem.
Okay, so it's not, that's not working. That didn't work for option one. That is all verbal. Yeah, I just want to parse the transcript and have it, yeah, actually have it process it and plug in the problem to the editor manually is fine. But I want to have the conversation be the creation point or question. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I want to take in what VAPI says, summarize it with AI, with Anthropic, and then have it output into the editor. I knew there was a good reason to keep Anthropic around. Let's see if it does something similar. If not, I'll be more direct with the prompting and tell it. All right, let's see what we get. Okay, cool. Talk about which problem you want. Okay. Okay. have natural conversation, click create a problem from our chat. That's what I wanted. Problem gets created and applied. Continue with voice guidance. Yes. Yes. See? There's a methodology to all this. Okay. Tutor chat. Cool. That fixed a couple things. Got some any's. I guess this kind of goes without saying. Uh, if anybody is like really good at this stuff and has any sort of advice, like please feel free to tell me. I am open to anything. I am very much still interested in learning and getting better at this. Let me just fix those Annies for you. Okay. Cool. Let's give this a shot. Hard refresh. Okay.
Hello, I'm Elliot, your coding tutor.
Hey, what's up, Elliot? Can you give me a pretty easy Python problem? I like, one of the first ones I like to do usually when I'm warming up is FizzBuzz. So give me something kind of on that level.
Hey there. Great choice with FizzBuzz. That's a perfect warm-up problem. Let's work on an easy loops problem. Count vowels. Here's what we need to do. Write a function that takes a string and counts how many vowels, A, E, I, O, U, are in it. For example, if we have hello world, we'd return 3 because there's one E and 2 O's. It's nice and straightforward, like FizzBuzz. You'll loop through the string, check each character, and keep a running count. Does this sound good to start with?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead and start coding in your editor. I'll be here to help if you get stuck or have any questions. Awesome. I can see you've got the editor ready. So you'll want to start by defining a function, maybe call it count vowels, and have it take a string parameter. Then think about how you'll loop through each character and check if it's a vowel. What's your first step going to be? Are you thinking of starting with the function definition?
Oh, no, I need to do some more pseudocode for sure.
Smart approach. Pseudocode is really helpful for planning it out. What are you thinking for your main steps? Maybe something like define the function, figure out how to check if a character is a vowel, loop through the string, and keep count.
Okay, okay, okay. I'd say we got ourselves a little editor tutor to help us learn Python, boys and girls. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Look at that. That was badass. Fuck yeah, man. All right. Um, I'm gonna chill out because I like to end on a high note and then it keeps me excited to come back. So, first things first, or last things last for now, we're gonna do get status, get add, get status, get commit, VAPI chat panel, uh, question, context to editor. Working. Fuck yeah. All right. Well, I think the next thing we'll do is kind of refine it. I want to be able to have like a pause. And also he's still super verbose and long-winded. Um, so we need to have it be more, the ratio of the conversation needs to be like weighted to where it's the user like 80% talking to this thing and 20% it just kind of guiding and knowing when to shut up because it's still just rambling too much for me. So yeah, I think the next steps will be just to kind of refine this with the VAPI prompt and maybe add some sort of backend API stuff as well. Um, there's a couple other things I want to do um, for kind of general features that I think will be interesting. Yeah, well, I'm going to pause here.